Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Raymond, also known as Sakaru. If you've been watching my videos, you'll notice I've been trying to do a few odd videos of the Legion Alpha, courtesy of my guildmaster getting me into the Friends and Family Alpha along with the rest of my guild. Before I get into it, please drop me a subscribe, a like, a comment, a dislike, follow me on Twitter at Sakarutan, Sakarutan. Add me on Skype if you like, that's Raytanman, Raytanman. But let's get into it. So this video is a first look at Ursoc. Ursoc, if you don't know him, is I believe he's actually a druid or bear from Wrath of the Lich King days. I think he was in Grizzly Hills. This is part of the Emerald Nightmare raid, so I imagine he might be in what was the Emerald Dream, going on to the Emerald Nightmare. You've got to fight him, bring him to his senses, something like that. The fight itself is relatively straightforward, with it being in alpha stages. Naturally, a lot of things are overtuned. As you'll see in this video, hopefully the quality is alright, especially when I'm hovering over health bars. You'll notice that a lot of the raid members have over 1 million health. My fellow tank, Alfie, I think his name was, the warrior tank, he went up to about 2.5 million at one point due to a talent, a 25% HP talent. But yeah, enough about that. The boss himself has 5 major abilities you need to watch out for. One of them is Overwhelm, and another one is Rend Flesh. These are both tanking debuffs. What we noticed is you'll see I die a lot, especially due to my lower health pool in the encounter relatively often and quite near the start. I think this is obviously just due to tuning. It was heroic mode, but I think a lot of the test was just a stress test rather than making sure abilities worked alright. From what we saw, the abilities actually worked okay in terms of comparing them to the Dungeon Journal. They do exactly what they are intended to do. It's just the numbers are too high at the minute. Such as Overwhelm. Overwhelm's it's a physical damage ability. It deals 1.68 million damage to the current tank. It also reduces armor by 20% and increases the damage taken by Rend Flesh by 250% for 12 seconds, and it stacks. So naturally it's a tanking debuff which you don't want to swap every stack. You don't want to take an Overwhelm followed by a Rend Flesh, because, well, you'll see in this video a couple times myself and Alfie get instigated. Rend Flesh, on the other hand, is a 1.35 million physical damage with it's almost an 800k physical damage take every 2 seconds for 12 seconds. Now it doesn't say it stacks because your previous Rend Flesh will wear off before another one is applied. What you'll notice in this video, we're getting to grips in terms of what abilities do, but at least on the alpha at the minute, he'll apply Overwhelm without a cast, so the main tank, the tank who's tanking him for the vast majority of the fight, needs to be taking this debuff. When Rend Flesh comes, that's when the off tank needs to taunt, pop a cooldown, and just soak up the damage along with getting heals. As soon as that Rend Flesh goes off, the main tank needs to taunt back, so it's a quick taunt mechanic. The thing with Overwhelm is it reduces armor by 20% per stack, and it does stack. And this seemed to apply within the 12-second debuff. So yeah, as the fight went on and we saw a little bit more, we didn't see an awful lot of it, to be fair. We didn't see the Blood Frenzy enrage mechanic, unfortunately. But yeah, as the fight went on, we decided on a taunt swap. But we'll go more into that in a second. Another one of the boss's abilities is Focused Gaze, and what he does, he focuses on a player. It comes up in the typical DBM type messages that's actually implemented into the WoW engineering, and after 6 seconds he'll strike them with something called Crushing Impact. and when he reaches his destination, all players take a damaging ability called barreling impact. So essentially what happens is he focuses on somebody, and 6 seconds later he's going to charge them. As soon as he reaches them, he'll deal crushing impact 1 million damage to that player. There's a way to reduce that, I'll go into that in a second. As soon as he reaches that player also, every player will take a 1.8 million physical damage, but it's reduced by another mechanic which I'm going to go into now. So essentially what happens when he charges the player, you need to use, we think it's going to be a 2-group kind of thing, a bit like Butcher, in the sense of your soak stacks. But when he focuses on somebody, you've got 6 seconds to say group 1 here, group 2 there, whatever. So the first group needs to actually stand in the path. It's also a bit like, what do you call them, Paragons of Eclaxy with beam, and you put so many people in the beam to help soak the damage, so everybody doesn't get one shot, or that person doesn't get one shot. Anyway, when he charges, any players in his charging path takes 430,000 physical damage, as well as knocks them back. Now when they get knocked back and get hit by this, they take a 50-second debuff, which makes them suffer from 500% increased damage from the next time they help soak stacks, which is why you need 2 groups. So you can't have the same group taking it twice. So he focuses on somebody, he charges them. The more people you have in the path, the better, because it soaks up some damage that the person's going to take at the end. No, it's not. I'm saying that. Yes, barreling impact. Yeah. So the more people you have in the charge path, the effect is reduced. That the big AoE that hits all players with 1.8 million. The other thing is the person who gets the charge mechanic on them, they get 1 million physical damage, but the damage is reduced the further away the target is from Ursoc. So 6 seconds, someone runs far away, 4 or 5 people get in the line of sight of the charge. Crushing impact hits the player, it's reduced due to the distance, and also because 4 or 5 people have soaked up the damage, not everybody takes a massive hit, which is essentially what you want. Another, that's quite a lot to take in, wasn't it? But here's another one to take in. Roaring Cacophony. I bloody hope I'm saying that right. The boss releases a roar which inflicts 3.6 million physical damage to everybody within 20 yards, but it's divided evenly among players. Now obviously that's a big hit, you need everybody possible to take the hit. The other thing is though, whenever he roars, he leaves behind a nightmare image, it's actually a big 20, the animation looked bigger than 20 yards, so I'm not really sure, but he leaves behind like a giant purple puddle, and then next time he uses Roaring Cacophony, there's a nightmare image in that puddle that also does the same mechanic, but for 500k shadow damage, which is divided between everyone in 20 yards. The only difference is that one causes players to run in fear. Now, as you'll see in this video, we only get maybe 3 or 4 of them on our best attempt. It's actually our last attempt if you just want to jump to the end of the video. I didn't see that they despawn, so it might be a nuke race, a bit like Butcher, but you know, kill him before he kills you. Not really sure how that's going to work. Yeah, and obviously this purple puddle, you can't stand in it. It says it's 20 yards, I'm positive it's bigger, but we'll see. And it inflicts 120k shadow damage every 1 second to players within it. So again, you can't just stand in that. The other thing, every time Ursoc uses Roaring Cacophony, he gains a buff that stacks and it doesn't look like it drops off. So again, it's another mini enrage mechanic. Echoing Cacophony is a buff. Every time he uses it increases the damage done by Roaring Cacophony by 10%. So again, if you don't have enough DPS, the damage might overwhelm your healers, so you need to sort that. The mechanic, which just sounds like a typical enrage, that we didn't see was at the end. When he hits 30% health, we wish we got him there. I think we took out about 100 million, and at most he had about 900 million when we had about 16, 18 in the bird. Anyway, Blood Frenzy. Ursoc enters a mighty rage at 30% health remaining. Increases attack speed by 20% and damage done by 20%. So on top of the Roaring Cacophony, the Overwhelm, the Rend Flesh, it's going to get really dangerous for tanks and the bird. Anyway, as I said, the fight's clearly not finished yet because the damage is way overtuned, or maybe we're undertuned, and that's why, you know, obviously the maximum level is 106. We don't have the typical artifact power that we'd have. We don't have all the cooldowns, abilities, everything implemented, so we'll just have to see how it goes on ahead of time. As I said at the start of this video, I think it was mostly just a stress test to see how it fares up with so many people on alpha testing the same raid at the same time. Anyway, enjoy the rest of this video, and as I said, leave me a like, dislike, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Sakaru, add me on Skype, that's Raymond. Till next time guys, have a good one.